Hi, David here from Making Stuff Easy. Like a lot of people on YouTube, I use a Canon G7X Mark II camera. Fantastic camera, but unfortunately the battery life sucks. So today what we're going to do is look at how we can actually get extended battery life through USB. So let's get on with it, shall we? So let's look at our battery options. Here's the original Canon genuine NB13L, came with a camera. I've actually looked to try and get a second one of these. On the occasions I've tried, I've actually found that Canon is out of stock. And if they were in stock, they want something around $70 or $80 Australian. So of course, like a lot of other people, I've gone for aftermarket generics. This has actually got the same configuration as a Canon battery. Of course, the Canon camera will complain that it's not genuine. It'll ask you to proceed, and it may not show the remaining power in the battery, so you may get a sudden loss of power on the camera. But together with these two, I basically code for a while. I can get about 100-120 minutes recording from them, depending on lighting conditions and the like. But I figured there would be a better way. What if I could get more extended power to supplement these batteries? And of course, the aftermarket services come up with the goods. So let's look at that, shall we? So, with the magic of the internet, I've ordered a product, and let's just take it out of its envelope, shall we? So what we've got here is an ACK DC110 USB power adapter cable. It costs about US $19, including postage and tax. And you can see it's pretty simple, but we'll just have a look at the pieces that are in the pack. So obviously in two compartments here. So let's look at the most important piece, the dummy or replacement NB13L adapter. So we'll just do a quick comparison of that with the genuine battery. Okay, it looks and feels the same. Of course, it's very lightweight, but importantly, there are the two main contacts that are needed, whereas the original battery has 4. On the other end, we've actually got a female cable here, which will connect to the power supply in a moment. So let's put that to one side. Now here's actually the smarts of the system. This is the DC drive cable. Fundamentally, it's the key part to it. It actually converts and makes sure that the device is safe. It's according to the site I bought it from, it's been redesigned. And you can see here that we've got a standard USB 2 cable on this end, and we have a male connector on this end, which will go into the cable for the battery pack. So let's look at USB power options for this cable. The recommendation is a minimum of 2.4 amps. So here we actually have a 10,000 milliamp hour power pack with a 2.4 amp output. Of course, you could also go for a mains power option, again with 2.4 amps output. These are considered to be superchargers, but are becoming more standard nowadays. You could try with a 2 amp output, and your mileage may vary. However, the recommendation is 2.4 amps. Okay, so let's put this kit together. First thing to do, of course, is open up the bottom of the camera to access the battery section. And make sure the battery is going in the correct way with the connections on the right side. And you'll see it just slots in and locks in like an ordinary battery. So what do we do with this cable here? Well, fortunately, Canon have tried to think about this one. And as you can see on the side here, there's a small door that you can actually take out. And that means you can actually put the cable in down here, make sure it's down firmly, and then close the door. So now the actual dummy battery is actually installed with the cable coming out the side. Then what we want to start thinking about is how do we actually get power to this. And so we'll actually plug in the USB adapter cable. Bit of a tight fit, which isn't too bad. It just goes together quite simply like that. So then of course the next thing to consider is the power supply. And so what we do here is actually plug this into a 2.4 amp output on the USB device, and we'll look to see how this behaves. Let's turn the camera on. So it appears to start up initially. Then of course it complains that the battery doesn't appear to be genuine. Ask whether the logo is being shown, and we'll say no. spicy thing. Okay. And then it basically says you can't guarantee the safety. Do I want to proceed? And yes. And then it all appears to be okay. Of course, you can see that it's actually displaying the battery power on the screen. But all intents and purposes, it appears to be okay. The 10,000 milliamp hour battery pack with output at 2.4 amps is charging the camera and running the camera safely, albeit with a dummy non-Canon battery. Okay, let's look at the second option here. Let's try it off a mains powered 2.4 amp charger. So we're going to pull this out of the battery, put it into one of these 2.4 amp outlets, and of course you always put it in the wrong way. And then we'll actually try starting up the system. Again, as we can expect, it's going to come up and say, sorry, this doesn't appear to be a genuine battery. Is it showing the logo? No. Do you want to proceed? Yes. And there we have it again. Seems to be operating correctly. So you've got the choice, battery or mains power. And that means you're going to get a lot longer recording times from this. Of course, one of the things you have to remember is if your camera is running and it's running out of battery power, then normally it will shut itself down when it recognises the battery is getting low. If, for instance, we choose here to actually disconnect the power from the mains or the battery, then the camera will just suddenly stop, and so it won't close. So it's strongly recommended that when you're doing this, you ensure that you actually shut down the camera before you disconnect it from the power. Once you've actually turned off the camera, then you can safely remove it from the power supply. Okay, so the early results are in and it's looking pretty good. So if you recognise that the camera has a limitation of its own to only allow video files of up to 4 gigabytes, after which it will turn itself off, it's working great. That's regardless whether you're using original batteries, aftermarket batteries, or an alternate power source as we're looking at here. So I've actually managed to get about 80 minutes of recording across 5 or 6 files using about 10% of my 10,000 milliamp hour battery. So that's working out really well. You can expect the same results from the mains, and of course with the batteries you can expect to get the normal life out of those depending on their age. So if you like what you see, then don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next review. Cheers.